Morning, everyone. My name is Rev Maggie Burbank Yanoki, and I have been blessed with the honor to serve this beloved congregation, both here in the sanctuary and for all of you on Zoom, as your minister as well. It is a great honor. So we welcome those of you who are joining us on Zoom. I see we have 13 connections so far. We'll see how that goes. And maybe a few more connections in the sanctuary would be really nice too. It is a very cold morning. We Californians aren't used to this, right? It is also, just a few announcements here, the 12th day, the final day of Chalaka today. Chalaka is a week-long celebration of our UU principles that is celebrated by our youth, I believe, at some point, and just a fun way to celebrate our principles, which are listed, if you want to find them, they're always on the back of your order of service, and they can easily be found at our website, uua.org, principles. I'd like to invite those of you that are here in the sanctuary, if you have something you'd like to share during delights and disappointments, is what I've been calling it. Instead of joys and sorrows, it's just a little softer of a request. And it's our time for prayer together and to hold the things that are going on in our lives together. But we have little pieces of paper on the green table back there for you to write out your prayer request and put it in the basket. So, and for you online, it would be great if you could just type something into the chat box if you'd like prayer for it. One really important announcement is that on Friday, December 24th, we're going to be having our annual Christmas Eve service. It will be hybrid, but if you can come here and have your mask on, you're going to really enjoy the beautiful Christmas celebration that we're going to have together. It'll start at 7 o'clock on Christmas Eve. And yes, Lily will be here. And we'll be all decorated for Christmas at that time. So right now I want to invite Steve Shirley to come up to the pulpit. He's got some important things to talk to us about, so I'm going to step aside for him.
Good morning. As you may have heard, our spirit level grant application has been approved for $25,000. A condition to us receiving that amount is that we raise half of it, so there'd be $12,500. We're well on our way to that already, and I'll get into detail about that. We have a couple of points that might be significant for your giving, particularly in this month. Any donation to the church, whether to the general fund of the church or to the matching fund of the Spirit Level Grant, which is paid during calendar 2021, is a deduction on your 2021 taxes. So you'll be able to enjoy the benefit of that deduction if you make a timely donation to do that. The good news is we're already a fourth of the way. And here is our little thermometer. And we have $3,000 recorded. I know of another 150, so that puts it exactly over a quarter of what we need to raise. And I won't get into the details about exactly what the project entails, except to say that our first step will be to replace the projector from the floor with a portable screen with a projector that will hang from the ceiling and a motorized screen that will be just at the north wall so it can be lowered and raised as necessary from the control room. That'll be our first project. The other good news is we have gotten confirmation from the Spirit Level Grant Office that we can get the matching funds in increments. So I would expect that if we raise around $6,000 more or less total, which we're better than halfway to there, that will then negotiate with Ireland Sound. Ireland Sound is a company that has done all of the installations for all of the Claremont colleges. So if it involved video, sound, or lighting for any of their meeting rooms, they did it. So they're not going to be learning on the job. So with that note, I know you got a busy service today, so that's all. We're going to hang this on the door of the control room and keep tabs on the progress.
Thank you so much, Steve. It's exciting to get this going. Although we have been investing quite a bit in new technology and our new staff that we really greatly appreciate. Thank you, Lily. You're hiding in the, yeah, and Jarius. Jarius, you do like the best job at just capturing, yeah, he is incredible. We love to embarrass him. He's behind the camera, it's okay. We open our service with a long-time tradition to ring the bowl 3 times. Once for those who came before. The Tongva peoples, who were the original stewards of this land and called it home long ago. We also honor the founding members of this congregation who imagined and planted and built this loving community. Once for those of us who are here and now. Whether here in the sanctuary or visiting us in our Zoom sanctuary, for our members, friends, visitors, our staff, and our extended UU family who hold, care, and grow this beloved community that we know as our own. And once for those who will come. For all who will come to find belonging with us and call MVUUC their spiritual home in the days ahead. Mark is here today. I'm going to embarrass him, put him on the spot. Mark, could I ask you to light the chalices for us this morning? Would you be willing to do that as I offer these words? And we do have 2 chalices, one for the congregation and one that represents our relationship with the congregation in the Philippines. Our time together in worship is deeply connected with our daily lives. As a symbol of that connection, and in the keeping of our Unitarian Universalist tradition, we light our chalices with a flame that reflects our shared lives, our shared faith, and our shared hope for love, mercy, and justice for all beings. Please hear the words of Anne Frank. I can feel the suffering of millions, and yet if I look up into the heavens, I think it will all come right, and that cruelty too will end, and that peace and tranquility will return once again. But in the meantime, I must uphold my ideals, for perhaps the time will come when I shall be able to carry them out. May it be so for us as well. And let's sing together our traditional opening song, our sung invocation, number 123, Spirit of Life, and the lyrics will be on the screen. We'll first sing in English and then in Spanish. Please stand as you're comfortable.
Mercy,
covenant together, either standing or sitting if you're more comfortable sitting. But just let's really open our hearts and speak this as our truth. Love is the doctrine of this congregation. The quest of truth is sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge and freedom, to serve the world in fellowship, to the end that all souls grow in harmony with the divine. Thus do we covenant with each other. It's been a little while since we've done a ritual together, and I felt that sacred nudge to add a ritual to our service today. But when I named it, kind of after the title of the service itself, Healing the World, Giving Life the Shape of Justice, I thought, well, let's spread justice like wildfire. And then I thought about the trauma attached to that word for those of us that live here. So let's spread justice like cream cheese. How's that? Yeah. For our ritual today, I invite you to come forward as you're comfortable. I have candles in the little community there that's holding on to each other. Take a candle and maybe blow your wish for the world into the candle. And I'll ask you to place it on this map of the world. Place it in an area where you have people you love, where you send money to help with anything, places where you are connected to justice in that place. Like for Julie, and I do invite those who are in our Zoom sanctuary, if there's a place where you want a candle to be placed, type it in there, and we'll check back with you and put the candles on the, we have a map of the world here on our little altar. So, and Lily's going to play some beautiful music for us as we engage in this ritual. And I have one for you, Jeannie. I'll put it in on England, the England area. Okay? So, thank you. Please come forward as you're comfortable. And Jarius will videotape for our Zoom audience. Good. We played all day, I didn't mind. Oops. I'm putting this one on in honor of one of the requests from our Zoom sanctuary. Kent Mayfield asked that we put one on for Kane's Cupboard, so I'm going to put it right over us here in California. Look at that. Not one person put a candle in California. I think that's great. I think you all of your compassion goes out to the world, but I'll put this here. Yeah, please do.
Sorry, I usually like slightly this way because like I can't tell how close
I can move that.
I can't tell how close the candles are to it, but like I needed to move it.
Yeah, we don't want to burn up the offering.
Be a burnt off.
It's very biblical.
Yeah. Lynn Schabel says, a candle for all who have suffered and lost during the recent tornado storm. A second candle for all who are in service to those within those areas. Absolutely. Not just first responders, but everyone who is just crawling out of their own rubble to help other people. And Donna says, a candle for all over the world. Yeah, I think we got it covered, Donna. Yeah. Yeah, we do have one in the Philippines. Maribel put one, Julie. Oh, they had a volcano eruption. I didn't know that. Oh, Indonesia, yes. Yes, I did know that. Poor Earth is really going through so much right now. Thank you. It's beautiful. we do open our hearts with love. So that's it, my entire sermon. Complete package in 6 words. But let's take this time this morning to open up that package a little bit. Maybe we can see it as a holiday gift that we get to open early. And maybe the gift will be just that bit of magic that we need to support our somewhat weary souls so that we can embrace the holidays with an optimism that we've been trying to muster for months. Maybe it will feel its touch of healing, and we can carry it into the world as we go and offer it freely to strangers, giving our lives the shape of justice. These times we are living in now are extraordinary in so many ways. The global experience of a pandemic in the midst of Mother Earth's climate crisis, while we are working to recover from the 4-year trauma of the previous presidency, is still causing everyone huge amounts of emotional, psychological, and physical stress. Many of us are also experiencing a kind of a spiritual exhaustion that we may not be quite able to articulate very well. But one way of naming it might be to call it compassion fatigue. That term was coined to define a feeling of apathy among those in the healing professions. And it can manifest as a diminished capacity for empathy due to overexposure to trauma. No, not because they didn't care, but because they cared too much. Sensing the early warning signs of compassion fatigue is a nudge to seek some rest and some self-care for your spirit. If you're finding these symptoms, you are in the right place. When we come together, we can breathe that spirit of passion into one another, even when we're wearing a mask, and point out to each other that we see a glimmer of hope and an abundance of possibility, a sense that something new is emerging, even if we don't know what it is yet. We are here to remind one another of our sense that every action we take toward bringing justice to life matters, and it makes a difference to the whole world. Look at that, beautiful. You don't have to move the camera, but we'll put a picture of it on our Facebook page and in our media. It's really beautiful to see. We offer healing to the world with each and every thought that we hold and every step we take toward shaping our lives and influencing the lives of others that we meet or that we know very well, that may even live within our own homes. We influence them by being an example of loving actions to create a more just world. Many of the world's great mystics, poets, and alchemists have noted that it is precisely during threshold times, such as the times we're in now, that huge shifts in consciousness appear in the world. And it's really no coincidence that we are here now, together, ready to do the work of our faith in the world, locking arms and each doing our own best spiritual practice to stay grounded in ourselves and to stay strong for whatever's coming, because we don't know, do we? Holding and helping one another to be our best selves as new ways forward unfold for all of us. We must never underestimate the power of the love that we share and what we can do to use that very same love to be of help to restore the hearts of others and to help heal the world. To offer just a few kind words, to listen to another and to truly hear their story, to offer kindness and being willing to hold them, offer shelter and refuge from their suffering, to help someone feel safe, even if only for a few seconds. It is a longing that we all share at our very center, and it is the anthem that we sing every Sunday, that we give our lives the shape of justice. It's a longing that we share, that our lives reflect ways of healing for the world and not hurt or harm. And it's a longing that we share, that the very principles that we affirm and promote will be our ground as we shape a new way that restores the world to justice and brings peace for all beings. Poet John O'Donohue names our longing as the voice of your soul. Can you hear that voice clearly? And do you respond to its nudges? He teaches us that it constantly calls you to be completely present to yourself and to live life to the full, this incredible life that's been given to you. He nudges us to pay attention when he says, you are here on earth now. So yet you forget so easily that you have traveled a great distance to get here today. But he reminds us you belong within a great embrace that urges you to honor the immensity that sleeps in your heart. When you learn to listen to and trust the wisdom of your soul's longing, that voice of your soul, you will awaken to the warm invitation of belonging and passion that inhabits the generous depths of your being and empowers your gifts. So bring your gifts out into the broken world now, because you are the healing that the world is crying out for. You are the teachers of justice for the way to come. You are the miracle of presence that is within and around you. And together, there is no limit to the healing that we will bring as we give our lives the shape of justice. Namaste. Amen. And blessed be. And Mark, if you could come forward and extinguish just the chalices, not the lights that lit up the world here. Let's read together reading number 456. It's in your order of service. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. And my blessing for you and for everyone on Zoom, may the love which washes away all illusions of separation, what heals all wounds and reconciles all things, be in us and among us now and always. May the week ahead be one of justice, love, and healing hope. And may we know that it is our work to make it so. Blessed be.